Hello everyone, this is Jim from the Art of Finance. Welcome back to our channel. We are on the last day of trading and then we are getting into last couple of hours and closing the week with you. The topic for today and for this video will be dollar index, gold and US oil. What's happening in these commodities and dollar index? We will talk about them and then what we can expect for the next days, especially for gold and US oil, what we can expect. We will talk about them. I selected these three charts because we will talk about the effect of dollar index strength or weakness as and also like a effect on commodities. Normally when dollar index goes up, the price of commodities goes down. Reason is dollar index is a benchmark for these commodities. If dollar index and these commodities goes higher at the same time, then they will be so much more expensive in local markets. There will be struggle in buying these commodities in local currencies, and demand will just lower. So when dollar goes higher, commodities goes down, and these balance just met. And with this balance, there is no problem with supply and demand side. If they both go down, let's say commodities and dollar index goes down together, then everything will be so cheap. Then people will just buy them a lot. So not enough supply will just create inflation, just like we are having in US right now. The prices are going higher because there is demand but not much supply. There is a lot of problems in new car sales, for example. So the price of used car are rising, and there's a lot of demand on goods and some other things, but many of them are imported from China, so you have to wait. So the prices of the current one are going higher. So there's a balance on reverse balance on that one. So we are expecting to go down commodity prices with rising dollar index. Why dollar index is rising? It's all because of rate hike is being expected right now sooner than 2023, because many people were expecting rate hike at the end of 2022, but this high inflation scenario is making these expectation to be sooner. Otherwise, it will be a lot of different scenarios are being spoken, and the inflation will go higher if the rates go higher. So it's all about this interest rate hike expectation making dollar high. That also another story. So I will just explain. If interest rates go higher, then international investors, foreign bond investors will buy dollar. So there will be more demand in dollar. If there is more demand in something, the price of that one goes higher. So we see that one. Foreign investors, they just buy a dollar and they are expecting this one, and this is creating an inflation. There's an increase in dollar index. It's all about this. From this point, if we just hear a speech by Fed officials stating that, all right, inflation is still transitory and we are not planning any interest rate hike soon, then we will see sharp decline in dollar index, because this rise is all about with the expectation of interest rate hike. All right, let's look at US oil prices.
You are ready to win with us. GAN Markets.
Right, we are checking the price of oil. As you can see here, dollar is rising and then oil prices are declining. This is the balance we are talking about in dollar index side, and it works. This support line is working on this line, and we are expecting some rebound from this, but not a full recovery to 85 level. Reason, because we are getting the end of the contract, and then the traders are just dumping their contracts, and then a sell-off is starting. This is not something you hear that much, but if you just check the contract day end dates, you will understand what I mean. And the contract is ending next week, Friday, especially on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In these 3 days, I'm expecting like a $3-4 decline in US oil. I'm not saying like the price. If we just go like that in these high prices, we may test $75. If we just be on like a $84, let's say, we will just test $80 levels. And rising COVID cases in Europe right now. In Austria, a small part of the country is being in lockdown, and then they are talking about full lockdown of the country. And in Germany as well, with 5 days in a row record cases, they are talking about restrictions. These kind of news are affecting oil in a bad way, so please just follow them closely. Let's look at gold prices. We are on the chart of gold. As you can see here, gold has tried those high levels. Right now is just consolidating, and it's so high. Slight sell-off can be seen in gold prices, because a dollar index is already like a rising. That means US dollar bonds, 10-year dollar bonds especially, will just go up slightly. Then people will just switch from gold to US 10-year bonds. That one is really important. So we may see a slight decline in gold prices. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be together on more news on Monday, and we will talk about more news with opening the week. Have a nice weekend. Bye.